Good evening, you fantastic and glorious degenerates of this floating rock that we call Earth. Welcome to Off the Wire with your host, the Cajun Libertarian, me, Noel Olin. And tonight on Off the Wire, let's take a dive off into the weird world of Trumphumperton Town. Speak with Luke Tatum, a libertarian author of Between the Lies: How to Reclaim Your Future from the Banks and Wall Street, and suddenly died victims keep gaining numbers. Why? And DeSantis is launching an investigation into it and much more tonight on Off the Wire. Let's go. Yes. Welcome back to Off the Wire. I am your host, Noel Olin, aka the Cajun Libertarian. Real quick, before we get started, let's hear from our sponsors. First up, GapArmory.com. Gap Armory carries a wide variety of parts and accessories. Whether you're looking for build kits for 3D printed firearms, optics, outstanding level 4 body armor, or anything in between, they have you covered. Gap Armory is libertarian owned and operated. They also accept Bitcoin. Gap Armory has the gear that you need to bridge the gap in your defense preparedness. Get what you need today at GapArmory.com. As you can see on the screen, GapArmory.com. But for those listening later, which will be very many people, it's astonishing. I am so floored at how many people watch and listen to this show. It's GapArmory.com. GapArmory.com. That's GapArmory.com. GapArmory.com. Also, Disto.com. DYSDO.com. Disto is a libertarian owned t-shirt company with designs intended to start a conversation. Use code Cajun15, CAJUN15, Cajun15 for 15% off your order at Disto.com. Like this one I'm wearing right here. Let me move the microphone. It says abolish the ATF. So this is one of the best shirt sites I've ever seen for political commentary to start a conversation. I promise you, I've seen many examples of this in my real lifetime conversations out in the streets of being able to start a conversation with the political t-shirt. I've got many of them. So please go check out DYSDO.com and see what they have to offer for you. There's a massive discount going on right now for Christmas, as everybody does at this time. Now, that being said, let's get into it. Oh, the Scientific Libertarian 2.0. Oh my God, you got a notification. That's incredible. We haven't gotten notification. Nobody's getting notifications anymore. They've shut us down, specifically on Facebook and YouTube. So if you like the show, share it with your friends. Please subscribe. I'm like literally 100 subscribers away on YouTube from 1,000 subs. So please sub to the show, like it, share it, do all of those things to help me out. Please, I'm asking. I'm very much asking, because this show is blowing up and it is beyond anything that I would have ever expected to do. I'm completely humbled. I'm completely floored. I don't know how this has happened, but it has. And so, that being said, I really want to be honest with you. I do think that I have an obligatory duty to continue to do it. And not just that, but to continue to press harder and further into the void and make this something that you, the people that continuously vote with your time, to make this an important part of your lives. And I'm honestly completely stunned by that. And so I do not take it lightly. Please understand, I do not take that lightly whatsoever. And so I'm going to continue to push further and harder and trying to make this the best that it can be, including but not limited to the content and the guests. And so all I can say is thank you. Really, thank you. This is crazy. I've shared the stats with y'all a couple of times. This podcast is within the top 25% of podcasts shared globally. This show is within the top podcasts followed, top 15%. 15% followed globally. That's wild. That's out of control. That's crazy. I just, it blows my mind. I don't know how, but I'm going to keep trying to do it better because there's obviously a demand for it. And I really do think that the actual demand is for people that are genuine, they're authentic, and they want to push this movement that we call liberty forward as strong as possible with as much passion, creativity as possible. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. That's the only way, and still to me that doesn't explain it at all. So let's get into our first story. Former President Donald Trump's quote unquote major announcement landed on Thursday, like the release of a new NFT. That's because it was the release of a new NFT, non-fungible token, by the way. That happened yesterday. The major announcement was yesterday. And so this is the part where I included in the promo about let's dive off into the weird I don't know, atmosphere or ecosystem of the Trumphumperton Town. Man, like if this is I'm really hoping this is a troll job. I'm going to be honest with you. I really hope it is because holy smokes. I mean, this is just so freaking cringe. It's unbelievable. And look, most of you know, I'm, technically a never Trumper. I never did vote for Trump. I will never vote for Trump. But I don't have TDS. I don't hate the guy. I think he's absolutely hilarious. And I think this crap is absolutely hilarious. But it's pretty astonishing. Let's get to some comments before we get really started. Dave Davis says ATF should be a convenience store. 100%, 1,000 correct. Absolutely. Dave Davis also said I got a notification on YouTube. That's amazing. That's incredible. I've shared some stories in the past. I've literally listened to testimonies all across the plains saying like, oh, I've only got like 15 subscribers and my account got banished. And I'm coming up on 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. YouTube has been a very tough platform for me to get subscribers on. So please sub to my YouTube channel. Again, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's very tough. And here we are reaching 1,000 and we've got these people that are they're getting banned for much less worse. So I'm super glad. Thank you, Dave Davis, for sharing that you actually did get the YouTube notification. You have to click on subscribe and click on the bell. Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Awesome friend, great guy, but get off of my YouTube channel. See ya. Just kidding. Chris is amazing. He's been a Twitter friend for a very, very long time. He says, need to get me a full set. He's probably responding to some of this. Is a problem with this platform here is that I can't see who you guys are actually replying to. So it's difficult to discern what exactly you're saying to me versus what exactly you're saying to other people. But I love your comments. So please keep commenting because it drives the algorithm and your conversations are extraordinarily important. Your conversations are extraordinarily important to the input of the show. The Scientific Libertarian 2.0 says there's some tennis photos that would suggest Donald Trump's body does not actually look like his NFTs. Oh man, I look. You're right. You're right. But I'm pretty sure that if you go beyond the tennis photos, there's a lot more than just in the tennis arena. Absolutely. It's hilarious. Let's get into it because it's quite remarkably hilarious. And I don't know. I really don't know who in their right mind would spend this money on this. So let's talk about it. Former President Donald Trump's quote unquote major announcement landed on Thursday like the release of a new NFT, non fungible token, by the way. That's because it was the release of a new non fungible token NFT. After teasing the day before on his social media site that he would have big news, Trump shared on True Social that he'd be releasing a set of collectible digital trading cards that all feature himself. And it's so weird. It's so weird. It's so beyond anything you would think it. Get on Twitter and go look at it. I don't know anybody that's on like True Social, but if you are, you probably can go find it. Oh my God. It's like the cringe of cringe. Quote, my official Donald Trump digital trading card collection is here! Exclamation point. The ex-president wrote, these limited edition cards feature amazing art of my life and career. Full stop. Man, come on. This is narcissism. Are y'all still falling for this? Please stop. Because this is out of control. Are you serious? This guy is trying to sell you basically baseball cards in the year of 2022 about his life and career. Like, I don't care. Who cares? Why should anyone care whatsoever? Have you seen the state of our country? I don't care about your disgustingly distributed and horribly created quote unquote baseball cards at $99 a piece. Each of the digital cards costs $99. And with your purchase comes a chance to win a Trumpian getaway along with a chance to meet the former president. I'm sorry. I hope this is wrong. I hope it's false. Okay. I want it to be false. I want it to be this troll job that he's just messing with people. Bruh, are you that, if this is true, are you that disconnected to reality? Are you that disconnected to the US of A right now? We're experiencing the worst inflation the country has ever seen. Do not buy into this nonsense of it's the highest inflation of the last 40 years. Incorrect, because they're actually dissecting those inflationary numbers differently than they used to. No, incorrect. 100% wrong, 100% a lie, and 100% a propagandized message. We are experiencing the worst inflation this country has ever seen, full stop. And you want to sell baseball cards for $100 a piece and then sell a message that says America first? Get bent. Come on. My God. While there was blame flying around Trump world on Thursday over the bad idea of the cards, others insisted it was a smart move from Trump. A source close to Trump called the digital trading cards, quote unquote, badass, while stating their favorite card with the boxing NFT, non-fungible token NFT, with fire in the background. Quote, to me, there is another pop culture moment delivered by, this is another pop culture movement delivered by Donald Trump, end quote. The source added, quote, "We've seen it for decades." What are you talking about? It's beyond cringe, right? This is beyond cringe because the fact of the matter is that I'm supposed to take this person as a serious candidate. Really, really, I mean, really ask yourself, really internalize this, okay? Am I really supposed to take this person as a serious candidate to govern the entire country again? I'm asking honestly because I know some people are going to say yes. And if you're saying yes, I'm sorry. You're in a cult. You're in a cult. You are. There is under no circumstances that this person should be taken seriously to be governing the world's most powerful government in the history of planet Earth. No chance. And here's the worst part, right? People will say yes. And that's why he did it. Saying that, I am truly in my heart of hearts hoping that Trump is just trolling the left. I really do hope that because this is utterly laughable. I don't. It's a disgusting portrayal of narcissism beyond any degree I even really thought was imaginable by this guy. And look, I don't have TDS. I like Trump. And he's a fun guy. He provides a lot of content. Am I a never Trumper? Technically, yes. I'm not. I didn't vote for him. I'm not going to. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a pro-Trumper. I'm just not. Okay, sorry, but I would like some reintroduction of seriousness, authenticity, and some sort of, um, uh, you know, idea of immediate interventionism, like immediate, right? This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it at all. And so, it kind of solidifies exactly what I thought about this guy from day one. I was laughing the entire time that he beat Hillary. Glad he beat Hillary. I loved it. Laughed the entire time through his presidency, for the most part, other than the things that I'm like, bruh, you can't do that. This is destructive, and he'll do those same things again. But this is a joke. This country is in a severe, severe crisis, and we have very little time to fix it. And I'm sorry if this offends you. I'm probably not sorry. I'm not sorry because I'm not somebody that feels that way. I'm just going to give you my opinions. If you're offended, so be it. That's on you. You have the authority over whether or not you're going to be offended by what I say or what my opinions are. That's on you, not me. But this guy cannot be anywhere near political power whatsoever, ever again. And I don't even care about January 6th. I've been somebody that's been very outspoken about 1/6 and about how much of a joke that was. I don't want this guy anywhere near power because he doesn't respect that power. That's why. This guy only cares about himself. Full stop. He's not America first. He's Trump first. But he did push a lot of America first policies because he was Trump first and not America first. All right. With that being said, enough of the Trump stuff. I thought it was laughable. I'm going to always, as long as he's in the headlines, I'm going to talk about it. He gives us good content, right? For those of us that are content creators, he makes it very easy to poke jabs at him, and he makes it very easy for us to use his rhetoric and his literal content to poke jabs at the left. He did a beautiful and glorious job of that. And I'll never, ever, ever back down from complimenting Donald J. Trump on exposing the left-wing media for what we already thought they were. And then when he came into office, he exemplified that and proved to us exactly who they were. And so that's fantastic. I appreciate that. But man, that ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. This is all just a joke to me. I mean, this kind of stuff here, it's laughable. He deserves to be nowhere near power, anywhere whatsoever. Let's get to a few comments and we'll get to our guest. Chris Fossner says he's pro piggy. Yes, he is. He was also pro lockdown. Republicans, conservatives. He literally criticized Sweden for not locking down and said that we made the right move to lock down. So not only is he pro pig, I guess it's two in the same, right? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm fixing my microphone cord here because it's dangling in the way. He literally advocated for lockdowns. You disagree with me? Fine. Go look it up. Dude was pro lockdown, criticized Sweden for not locking down, saying we, the United States, made the right decision. Didn't fire Fauci over politics, literally admitted it, said, I can't fire Fauci because I'll get some pushback on the left-wing media. What do you care? Until we get people in these positions that actually don't give a shh about what these media outlets pretend to care about, we're doomed. Who cares? Who cares? If you're really going to be America first, if you really going to be America first, then why the hell didn't you fire Fauci? I'm sorry. No, absolutely no. An actor, a self-absorbed narcissist that only cares about himself and is now selling NFTs in the middle of an inflationary crisis that the U.S. The U.S. taxpayers, the everyday average American like me that works a full-time job with a wife that I just had to ask to go back into the workforce despite getting raises the entire time and negotiating my rent lower. But because of inflation, I had to ask my wife to go back into the workforce. And you're selling NFTs of horrifically horrible, cartoonish crap. Explain to me how he cares about you. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm not ever going to go along with this effing joke and clown. Again, I don't have TDS. I like the guy. He's funny. He's very, very entertaining. He deserves to be nowhere near power ever again. And he keeps proving that over and over and over. Now, with that being said, let's get to our guest of the evening. We're going to spend about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe with Luke Tatum. Let's bring him on. Luke, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much. So you have a book that has just released. What is it about? What are the fundamentals of it? And then let's get into some nuance about you and the details of said book.
Sure. Yeah. So the book is called Between the Lies: How to Reclaim Your Future from the Banks and Wall Street. It is focused on just that. It's first of all laying out the problems with banking and Wall Street and some of these things, more or less the conventional financial advice that everyone is given day in and day out, such as, oh, be sure to lock in your employer match at your 401k and contribute as much as you possibly can into your tax qualified retirement accounts and all of these things that we've all heard. It's a bit of context, a bit of history, a bit of raw analysis of what actually occurs in these accounts and
Right.
in amortized loans for things like cars and houses, etc. It's a lot of just knowledge dump up at the front and analysis about what is being told to you versus what is true if objectively evaluate these things. And then it
Right.
moves into more of a solution stance. So it's really divided into two parts. It's problems and then it's solutions. And so I've got a set of guidelines that I help people through, all of my clients. And I've, been thankful to see them have enormous success with that. But it's just really a wake-up call. And this is a libertarian show, right? But it's a book for non-libertarians. It's just enough of a red pill. It's not an Austrian econ book, it's like, what do you need to know? It's the minimum amount of things that you need to understand in order to get what the problem is. I've got
Hmm.
stuff on inflation, I've got stuff on the Fed and all that in there, but it's not a dissertation on those subjects.
Right. Right. So, what it sounds like to me is it sounds like something that would be up my alley, like economics for dummies, because
Sure.
that's who me. I've had Carol Roth on the show multiple times, who is an amazing economist. She's a writer for the Blaze. She's on the Glib Beck radio program, which has literally millions of listeners every single week, and I have to ask her all the time. I'm like, hey, look now, you're speaking. I need a Rosetta Stone for you because I'm not that economically inclined. I'm a simple guy. I want to learn. I am an intelligent person that can learn. And this is something to me that sounds like you've put into a paradox of very understandable language, including like your part one is lies and half truths. Your part two is applying the truth. This seems like very simple and very easy way into introducing basic economics without having it flooded with multiple avenues of ideologies. Is that correct, or am I missing it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I consider myself an Austrian. I fully endorse Austrian econ perspectives on things, but like I have, on my bookshelf over behind me, like I've got Man, Economy, and State by Rothbard. I have the big, thick econ text, but most people are not going to benefit from reading that, right? And especially if you're talking about
Right,
Ludwig von Mises or something, that's some
right,
real intense stuff. I mean, Mises is pulling from epistemology and philosophy and all these different fields, and if you don't know what he's talking about, it's a bunch of nothing. You get nothing out of it without some grounding and really devoting yourself to the text. So my goal with the book was to just give you the level you need to get at. I want to meet people where they are. I want to make the points that need to be made. But I've even had people who are in this space who are libertarian activists are like, you know what? I didn't know that about how banks work. Or, you know what?
right.
I had no idea the volume of interest you pay on this. And like, so I'm getting a lot of positive response already, which is it's just awesome. I've been blown away by that.
That's actually freaking amazing. I'm extraordinarily pleased with the response that you've gotten so far. Let us know about, because your book just dropped. Like what, Friday? Give us the response already since Friday of what it has been.
It actually didn't drop on Friday like I planned. It got
Okay.
delayed until Monday. So it's
Oh,
only been
sorry.
out for, I guess this is day 4 right now. And it's been awesome. It's in the law category on Amazon. So it was at number 8 in the overall law category. Right now it's number 3 in the new releases. There's literally the top 4 are January 6th report, January 6th report, my book, January 6th report
That
right
sounds
now.
like that sounds like propaganda.
Yeah, right.
That, that sounds like
So,
propaganda.
uh, it's a 99-cent Kindle. I just wanna get it in front of people, right? And I just want people to be able to I mean, you and I are libertarians, right? And so I want people, especially people who value individual freedom, to get their financial situation straightened out, because like that's the way that we have an impact in the world, right? We can all talk about
Amen.
how this or that is like the objectively morally correct thing, like we should all be trading in gold and silver and all that, but I want you
Right.
to have the money to have an impact. So that's important
Yes.
to me. It's important to me as myself, but it's important to me like as a member of this larger movement too. And that's really what this is about. It's not a political book, but there's certain subtext there where it's like, hey, maybe the government isn't really looking out for your best interests in a few of these areas, you know?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So, obviously, what we want to talk about is how the government is affecting your everyday wallet, because it 100% is. We're watching what the Fed's doing. We're watching what the government continues to do despite the inflationary cycle. But what people want to know is, like, how can I fix this through an everyday avenue? And so, with that in mind, what what inspired you to write this book, and what inspired you to not just write it, but to actually, as you have just said, and I wholeheartedly believe you, have an internal appreciation of the average everyday American that maybe isn't, you know, lit up on, Ayn Rand or Ludwig, Mises. What inspired you to do this, and basically make it to where we can understand it as average people who aren't studying economics at every single level?
Yeah, I've been told, I guess, all throughout my life that, I'm a good teacher. And at one point I thought I wanted to become a teacher, of course I learned my lesson, right? And I got as far away from traditional schooling as possible. And we homeschool my son and all that. But at one point I thought I could be out there. I could teach kids how to write better, and that would be great. I'd be having such a
Nice.
huge positive impact on the world. And so I've always sort of had that penchant for wanting to educate and that sort of thing. I got into the world of finance and I realized that it's kind of a great venue for educating. And so that's what I
Yeah.
spend a lot of my time doing. I tell every single person that I work with, I don't want you to get something if you don't understand it. So like if we're not going to have a dialogue here and if you're just in a hurry to buy something, like please slow down, because I want to make sure that you get it before you get it. And
Yeah.
so I, that's important to me. But as far as the book, it's just, well, I'm having a one-on-one conversation with you, but it's being broadcast to a lot of people. A book is something that can be out there. That it's a Kindle book, so it can be infinitely replicated. Everybody can have a copy of that, and it's it's a lot more people than I can reach just by limiting my time to one person conversations over and over.
Right.
So there's that venue, but also it's just a way to sort of set the record straight and say, look, this is what I believe. This is my sources. I've got all the footnotes in there. I mean, find something that's not true in that
Awesome.
book, right? And I'll have that conversation with you. But as far as I can tell, you can't, because all the proof is there. I mean, the stuff, and this is something I was talking about with my wife too, but it's like sometimes people hear about the Fed and creating money out of thin air and these sorts of things, and they believe that that's just some sort of crazy conspiracy, right? So I didn't quote crazy conspiracy types, the people who would be labeled with that kind of label, as my sources. I quoted the Federal Reserve itself, individuals that work for the
Right.
Fed, people that worked on passing the Federal Reserve Act, like very easily sourceable material, so that you can say, well, yeah, I guess that is true, isn't it? And let
Right.
that kind of enter the mind. So, like I say, a lot of people have gotten a lot out of it, even if they're already familiar with the contours of those ideas. Um, and it's a relatively quick read. So it's just, hey, do you have a spare afternoon? Would you like to increase your financial education level? Double, triple, potentially 100-fold, depending on where you're at, right?
Right.
Then here you go. It's $1. Like, I'm not making anything on this. I just want you to learn about it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. So I want you to give us a couple of seconds here. We got about 3 minutes.
Yep.
Without giving everything away, give us the like the nuts and bolts, the skeleton, not just of the book, but I'm very, very interested in what you have to say about what they're quoting. Like you literally just mentioned that they're quoting these things. Give us just a smidge, not the whole thing, because we want people to go buy the book, and I just put that up there. I hope I put it on there right. It's
Yep.
betweenthelesbook.com,
That's it.
betweenthelesbook.com. And so go check that out. Please go buy. It's literally 99 cents, y'all. My God, come on, right? And so just give us a little bit of the subtext of what you're talking about when you're saying like this can't be disproven, because I 100% believe you, and I haven't read the book yet, but I know you're quoting like Fed officials and people of that sort. So give us just a little bit of it. Just tease us, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a wonderful, wonderful interview that I have, yeah, and I don't have it in front of me. I'm going to paraphrase, but there's a little snippet of a televised interview with I want to say St. Louis Fed official talking about what they're doing in response to some of the economic factors. This is a few years ago now, and he's saying, well, what we're basically doing is we're pumping a lot of new money into the system, and that's going to help balance these factors and make things better. We're just pumping new money in as fast as we
Right.
can. And the interviewer says, is there any limitations on your ability to do that? And he says, there is no limitation to our ability to do that. Right. So it's
Right.
it's unlimited money printing. And
Wow.
so that's an example. There's a great thing from the Fed's website where it's called In Plain English, and it's their like dumbed down explanation of the mystical behaviors of the Fed and how they guide our economy like saints, right? And it it's talking about what they do and what they're supposed to do, and they're supposed to target a 2% inflation rate and keep unemployment low. And
Hmm.
so I have a little quip in there, and it's like, man, if inflating 2% a year is price stability, as it says in this quotation, then letting a bunch of termites eat your house 2% every year is house stability, right? So it like what kind of mental gymnastics are we doing here? And it just blows my mind. But like I say, it's all there. It's all in the book. And
Yeah.
importantly, the solutions are there too.
No, that's amazing. As somebody who has done pest control for almost a decade, and I literally run 2/3 of an entire company right now, that terminology is very analogous. That's amazing. We look forward to seeing not just the success of yourself, but the success of what this book is going to breed for the average everyday American. Because, like we talked about before, I've talked to many economists, some of which are very high level, and it can be very difficult to want to understand what they're saying. And it seems like you've broken this book down into very simple language and into very simple time for us to be able to understand it and to be able to fight back monetarily and to secure our financial status as we continue to, let's be honest, y'all, devolve monetarily, economically. This country is falling really fast, really quickly. So please go to his website that for some reason, oh, there it is. Sorry. Betweenthelesbook.com. Can you get it off Amazon as well?
You could just search Between the Lies Luke Tatum or Luke Tatum, and it's actually auto
Okay.
completing now because it's been doing so well. So you should just be able to type
Excellent.
in my name and get it right up.
That's what I love to hear. I actually tell people that all the time. They're like, "Where can they follow you?" I'm like, "Just Google my name." So you get on Amazon, you get on whatever source you like. Obviously, we want to try to get away from a company like Amazon and away from big business and go straight to betweenthelesbook.com. That's betweenthelesbook.com and get your copy immediately. It's an intelligent read. It's an understandable read for those of us that aren't economists like Luke here, who is clearly engaged and very, very informed, much more than I am when it comes to basic economics and advanced economics. Luke, thank you so much for joining the show, man. Is there anything else you'd like to shout out?
No, just thank you so much for generously allowing me on the show, and wish you all the success in the world too.
Thank you, my friend, as well to you. And I will continue to promo your book as it is already becoming very successful. We're going to push as hard as possible to continue to make you even more successful, because your success breeds success to the average everyday American. Luke, thank you for joining the show, man. We'll talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sorry about that. Wrong button. My bad. It happens. Thank you, Luke, for joining the show, man. Absolutely excellent. I look forward to talking to him again, and we're gonna see where exactly his book goes. Hopefully, you guys buy it. It's 99 freaking cents. Come on, between the lines book.com, between the lies book.com, between the lies book.com. Please go invest. At the very least, like he said, it's like a short afternoon read. My God, I'm getting mine today. I'm dead serious. I'm getting mine today because this person is clearly engaged, clearly intelligent, clearly knows what he's talking about. Now, we're running short on time because I talk too much. So let's get to the rest of the show. I don't know what Chris is talking about right here, but I'm going to put it on there. You spend like 10 times that much on Twitter. I don't know what 10 times you're talking about time or money. I don't care. Whatever. Give it all away. Dude, Chris is a good friend, man. He's been fantastic. Please go follow Chris Fossner on Twitter. Absolutely great. With that being said, let's cap this show off with some controversy. Shocker, right? It's not something that I do. I'm not a very controversial person. And Chris says, LOL. Actually, I am a very controversial person. So let's do it. Let's start off in the world of college football. 25-year-old former college football tight end dies after suffering heart attack while jogging. Why? Full disclosure, you're not going to know why. And you're never going to know why. So you're going to have to make up your own conclusion. However, died suddenly. I don't know what else to tell you. It's kind of a trend, right? Trend is the wrong word. Kind of happening a lot. Jake Hescock, a 25-year-old former college football tight end who played for a pair of Division I programs, has died suddenly after suffering a cardiac arrest. What are the details? Well, we're not going to ever find out the effing details because they're never going to let us know. And that's what the real problem is. Listen, if you want us to stop creating these conspiracy theories, then stop denying us the information. And then when you give us information, you have got to quit with the propaganda. Otherwise, this is going to continue to spiral out of control. What are the details? Hescock, who played for the University of Wisconsin and University of Central Florida, was jogging in Boston on December 6th when he suffered a cardiac arrest. He was 25 years old. He was a football player in perfectly healthy condition. You're not going to convince me of anything otherwise than the thing that you're already all assuming. Remember, by the way, this isn't Timcast or the Daily Wire or the Blaze or Young Turks or any major platform. So I am bound to the language that YouTube has handcuffed me by. because I'm desperately trying to grow with a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice time with a show that I invest into all the time and make 1 cent per download. I don't make money off of this. I just want the truth. And so I have to be careful. All right. What are the details? Hescock, who played for the University of Wisconsin and the University of Central Florida, UCF, by the way, who was very successful in a lot of avenues, given the fact they're a very small school in a very small division, was jogging in Boston on December 6th when he suffered a cardiac arrest, the paper said. A passerby provided CPR, and Hescock was taken to a hospital before being placed on life support, and then he died from brain trauma. That just means lack of oxygen to the brain due to the stroke. I don't have... Anyway, I'm a very, very well-trained medical professional in high levels of the United States military. This isn't normal. I'm sorry if that offends you. This is not normal. It doesn't matter how much propaganda they try to shove down your throat to say, oh, well, we weren't covering all of the anonymous cardiac arrests or cardiac arrhythmic malfunctions prior to this situation. That's a lie. That's a lie. We have the numbers to track it, by the way. All you have to do is do a little research. You can track the numbers of myocarditis and cardiac arrests due to arrhythmia in any other situation. I mean, it's granted, again, I do have a very extensive medical background in science. So it may be easier for me. I don't assume that it is. I assume that it's anybody can go in there and read it because I think you can. Most of y'all are extraordinarily intelligent. So just go look at it. It's very easy. This is not normal. I don't care what they try to sell you. It's not normal. We did not have mass amounts of people in their 20s dying from an arrhythmic cardiac arrest or any variation of cardiac arrhythmia whatsoever. Not like this. All right, let me get to a couple of comments here. And oh, this is great. Oh, we have a hater in the comment section. Oh, I love it. 7 Armadamin or something. This guy's a retard. Ah, great handle, by the way. Great profile picture. You're definitely legitimate, and we definitely want to hear what you have to say. Streaming for 6 people, get a few more, and you have the entire libertarian vote. That's hilarious because that's one platform. It's actually going to be thousands of people. But thank you for your input. All right, moving on from this person who is clearly just whatever. Yeah, it's too funny. Oh man, I like addressing the haters, but I did get in trouble with the audience of thousands, for spending too much time on haters. Just wanted to give a shout out real quick to that knuckle dragging anti-science moron. Continuing, Mississippi State football coach Mike Leach said or died on Monday night. I'm fairly certain that a lot of y'all have heard about this. We're still in the college football realm. Now, here's the thing about this, right? Mike Leach died Monday night after college. And he's at Mississippi State University, the state that I live in. And it's right. I'm in Starkville all the time. all the time, damn near every week, taking care of some of my customers in Starkville because of a couple of situations. But he died Monday night, excuse me, after complications related to a heart condition. The school announced he was 61. Okay, so this is a little bit different, right? Because most of the myocarditis that we have learned about is going to be in younger men. I mean, vast majority of the younger men is where the myocarditis post the thing, because I can't talk about the thing because the YouTube hates the truth, are in younger generations. So this is a little bit different. I can't sit here and really be like, well, it's definitely because of that. And I'm not going to say anything is definitely because of anything, because we don't have the autopsies. We don't have the research. Hopefully we do find out. But let's talk about it. Mississippi State football coach Mike Leach died Monday night after complications related to a heart condition, the school announced. He was 61. Leach suffered what the university initially described in a news release as a personal health issue, quote unquote, at his home in Starkville on Sunday, which required him to be airlifted to the UMMC in Jackson, about 125 miles from Mississippi State. Leach, in his third season as Mississippi State's head coach, had told ESPN after the regular season concluded that he struggled with pneumonia this season, but was feeling better. He was at practice Saturday before suffering his health issue on Sunday and then dying just a couple of days later. So to me, you just can't ever tell with this stuff, right? But the fact of the matter remains is that this isn't normal. It's not. It's not normal. Whatever the attributing factor is, we're not going to know right now. We're just not. With them being over 60, I'm personally would honestly lean away from it being the vaccines, because that's generally a situation in younger people. However, he was feeling fine despite going through pneumonia. He is a college football coach, and we all know the mandates. So who the hell knows? But we do have a governor in the US of A that is trying to investigate this stuff. And as much as I'm not a massive fan of DeSantis, I'm not a Republican. And I think he's, a very polished and sharp and accurate politician. This is a good thing here, and it could set a precedent. Let's read about it. The Florida governor, Ron Desantis, said on Tuesday he will petition the state Supreme Court to convene a grand jury to investigate any and all wrongdoing with respect to COVID-19 vaccines. That's massive. You know what that also tells me? That Ron DeSantis is running in 2024 for the president, because this is a huge move. Why on earth would all of this stuff that he's been doing, regardless of whether you like it or not, okay, we're talking about the 2024 campaign, regardless of whether you like him or not, he's making massive waves, doing big things, whether you like him or not, a lot of which I don't like. Some of which I'm like, hey, you know, this is not bad. That's pretty good. I believe wholeheartedly, without question, that he is definitely running for 2024 presidential campaign. I'm reading some comments here. Chris, my man, bad people can do good things sometimes. Well, ain't that the truth? Scientific Libertarian 2.0. Ron DeSantis was always promoting the vaccine. He has never not promoted the vaccine up until he was running for president. Man, couldn't have said that any better myself. So let's talk about it. The Republican governor, often mentioned as a possible presidential candidate in 2024, did not say what wrongdoing the panel would investigate, but he suggested it would be in part aimed at jogging loose more information from pharmaceutical companies about the vaccines and potential side effects. He made the announcement following a roundtable with the Florida Surgeon General, let me say it like this, Dr. Joseph Ladapo, and a panel of scientists and physicians. Quote, we'll be able to set the data. We'll be able to get the data whether they want to give it or not. End quote, DeSantis said. Quote, in Florida, it is illegal to mislead and represent, especially when you were talking about the efficacy of a drug, end quote. Statewide grand juries usually comprise, and a statewide grand jury is exactly what he's using to investigate this stuff, okay? Statewide grand juries, usually comprising 18 people, can investigate criminal activity and issue such panels have hold on, I'm sorry, this does not read right, and I copied it straight from the source, from the site. Statewide grand juries, usually comprising of 18 people, can investigate criminal activity and issue indictments, but also examine systemic problems in Florida and make recommendations. Recent such panels have tackled immigration issues and school safety. DeSantis noted that Florida recently, quote, got $3.2 billion through legal action against those responsible for the opioid crisis. So it's not like this is something that's unprecedented, end quote. That will come with legal processes that will be able to get more information and to bring legal accountability to those who committed misconduct, end quote, DeSantis said. DeSantis also announced that he was creating an entity called the Public Health Integrity Committee. Full stop. That's bad. I'm sorry what you think about DeSantis. That's bad. Stop with the committees. Every time any politician introduces any sort of program that implements even more bureaucracy than we already have right now, red flag. Red flag. I like the concept of it, and I'm telling you right now, the execution of it is probably going to wind up being bad. It will not work out in your favor. I don't care how much you like Ron DeSantis. I don't care how much you like this activity, which I'm actually a fan of, because I want investigations into these obvious, nefarious, quote unquote, medical practices. The more you push bureaucratic engagement, the worse this country gets. Full stop. Repeating, DeSantis also announced that he was creating an entity called the Public Health Integrity Committee, which will include many of the physicians and scientists who participated in the roundtable on Tuesday. The group includes prominent opponents of lockdowns, federal vaccine mandates, and child vaccinations. That's great. I'm glad that your bureaucracy is filled with people of that stature, of that belief system. However, no more bureaucracies. No more administrative state. The administrative state is what is destroying us, and we have no ability to control or remove these people. These are unnamed, unelected bureaucrats that we have no power over, and they have all the power over us. So it all sounds good on paper. A lot of it really is good. No more bureaucracy. None. He said that over the course of the pandemic, some people had lost faith in the public health institutions, including the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, otherwise known as the CDC. The governor has frequently spoken out against CDC directives, rightfully so, and he should. The CDC is a bureaucracy, including mask and vaccine mandates, and filed lawsuits to stop many from taking effect in Florida. Fantastic. That's great. But you're literally contributing to the same problem that you're fighting against. And believe me when I tell you, Ron DeSantis is a smart, intelligent human being. He knows this. He knows he's contributing to the bureaucracy of his own state. And I'm sorry, I don't think there's enough. When Ron DeSantis is president of these United States, he'll do the same thing on the national level. This isn't incompetence, people. They know what they're doing. Do they think they're morally correct? Probably. Are they obfuscating for votes based on complete ignorance of the American populace? Yes. Yes. Of course. Of course they are. They know what they're doing. They 100% know what they're doing. And they don't care. They seek power. They seek power. And they know how to advance said power. Additionally, the governor announced that Dr. Ladapo would conduct research through the University of Florida to assess sudden deaths of individuals in good health who received the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm a big fan of Dr. Ladapo. I think he's one of the few and outstanding doctors. He's the Surgeon General of Florida, and I can guarantee you that when Ron DeSantis wins the presidency of the United States, he will be the Surgeon General of these United States, which I'm a fan of because I do get a sense of integrity and actual, wanting to investigate this stuff. Okay. And again, I do believe there's a part of Ron DeSantis who overall, I'd say I like, if I can say it like that. And there's nuance to be had there. Like, I like him more than some of the other people. I don't trust him. Not one bit. I do like Dr. Ladapo. Is he politicking? Probably. But there's something about him that resonates with me that I'd say he's probably more authentic than some of the people we're used to. And at the end of the day, y'all, that's what I'm looking for. At the end of the day, I'm looking for authenticity. I'm looking for genuineness. I'm looking for you to sacrifice your position and your money and power to help the American people. I that's what I want. In the wars, by the way, that this doesn't even include, because I didn't have time to include it, what's happening in Yemen, which is absolutely disgusting. And then your fake, horrific poser of an anti-war politician called Bernie Sanders rips his war powers resolution from Yemen off the table because the Biden administration said, "No, we want to keep bombing kids." I want authenticity. I want authenticity. I want genuineness. I want people that care about this country. I don't want. And look, right? This is the reason people resonated to Trump, because they fell for that rhetoric. They're like, I don't want somebody who's pro-politician who is the same as everyone else, which Ron DeSantis is. He's a congressional member. He's the governor of Florida. He is a massive success, okay? Massive success. He's got a lot of things that he's done that I really do like. I'm just telling you. I don't trust him. That's it. All right? If you're a big Ron DeSantis fan, that's fine. I like a lot of what he's done. I do not like a lot of the other stuff he's done. And I do not trust his intentions. So, arm's length, okay? Support him if you want to. That's fine. I get it, is what I'm saying. But arm's distance, Arm's distance. He's a professional, polished politician. He's very, very, very intelligent. He played baseball for, I think it was Yale. He was like an All-American for Yale, which is extraordinarily difficult to do. I'm a former athlete. I guess I'm still an athlete. Play baseball at an extremely high level. Could have went to AAA if I wanted to. So I get, I got respect for Ron in a lot of areas. Arm's distance, I'm telling you, arm's distance. With that being said, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna get to a few of your comments because somebody just jumped in here. I would love to play this one right here. I'd love to show it on screen, but I can't because it involves foul language. This person is just, it says, this effort can't even read. Funny, because I just read all of this. All of it. I read it on air within an hour. And a guest, by the way. It's funny. Oh, man. Some people just like to hate, y'all, And so it is what it is. Have fun with them. Troll him. This is obviously a person that has about 4 collective brain cells, all fighting for the same space to occupy it all at the same time. What a complete tool. Amazing. Just an absolute smooth-brained NPC, programmed, has no ability to critically think for themselves. I have fun with this stuff because I don't get a lot of these in here. And so, yeah, go have fun with this guy. He's an absolute moron. It's fun. Anyway, please subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm almost 1,000 followers away. Closing in on 13,000 followers on Twitter. Please follow me over there. And I have amazing, amazing guests all the time. I love each and every one of y'all very much. By the way, don't forget, like the show, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notifications bell so that every time I go live with amazing guests and amazing stories like these, and apparently incredibly stupid haters that are finally starting to show up in the show, but not the Tao of Steve. Hey there, Noel. Have a great night. Thank you, brother. You are amazing. All of you all are amazing. I love you very much. I will see you same Cajun Tom, same Cajun channel. My next guest, I am going to spend an absolute hour on because they are a voice that you have to hear. It is a detransitioner, and I think that voice is absolutely the most important voice to our youth, or at least top 3 people that transitioned from transgenderism into back to their normal selves. That will be my next guest. A full hour with them. Let's hear their story. Other than that, you guys are absolutely incredible. I love each and every one of you, and I can't wait to talk to you again. See you very soon. Same Cajun Tom, same Cajun channel, and I am out.